Oh, the mask mandates down south are starting to fall by the wayside in places that you wouldn't normally suspect. Yesterday, we talked about Delaware and New Jersey dropping their mask mandates. What would that be? March 7th, they were all supposed to be going away, but now we're starting to see just a little bit more as well. Biden versus the blue states. Psaki says it is up to school districts. Oh, wow. Did she just flip-flopping positions again? Because remember, it was the purview of the federal government to have mask mandates literally everywhere until they said so. But no, it's up to school districts' discretion. It's actually up to the state governments, but yeah, if you just keep on supporting the subversionists that are out there, I guess it's up to the school districts to decide mask mandates, and there are leaders stopping them after 4 Democrat governors dropped classroom rules. But Biden's administration, or whoever's at least pulling the strings there, just think that it's very necessary and very important. White House walked back on criticism of Democratic governors on Tuesday by claiming that it's up to states to decide their mask mandates for schools after refusing to endorse cases of blue states lifting the rules. These states, I think that it's important to note that they still allow for decisions to be made by local school districts. Weird kind of admission that the federal government doesn't have as much power and authority as she'd like to present at different times, and as much power as Biden would like to flex, or he's told to flex. Our hope, she continued, that state leaders will look at the science, trademark, and data about what's going on. I would love that too, but they don't, and it's clear by the decision that they make. They'll make decisions about local school districts. Local school districts have always made these decisions. That remains the case. Yep, even when they're told it's now optional. The kids can wear whatever masks, okay? Teachers can wear whatever the masks you want. But no, there's some places that still desperately are clinging to the fact that they need mask mandates in order to operate. Yeah, sure. And it's only happening in blue states, right? It's not like Florida's been in and out of courts of different school districts just saying, no, we need mask mandates. And based Florida man's like, no, you don't. You can just make your own decisions. And Virginia's Supreme Court rejects lawsuits seeking to reinstate school mask mandate. Finally, it had to make its way all the way up to the Supreme Court to finally reaffirm Glenn Youngkin's order to ban mask mandates in fucking schools. Because Jesus Christ, these motherfuckers won't stop there. Listen, if you want to wear a mask, that's fine. If you want to get the jab, that's fine. Just don't tell everybody else what the fuck they have to do with their lives. The lawsuit was filed in January by a group of parents in Chesapeake against the governor's mask order, which stipulated that parents should have the right to choose whether their students wear masks while in class. Imagine the horror. Youngkin and Attorney General Jason Miyares both described the ruling as a victory for parents in Virginia. Yeah, listen, those same Karens that are out there, they can send their kids to school with masks. All this does is just let everybody else choose what the fuck they have to do. Today, it's almost like maybe it's not the parents. Maybe it's just these administrators and the teachers unions. The communists that are out there. Maybe they just want to go ahead and enforce their dicta by state enforcement. Just saying. Today, the Supreme Court of Virginia rejected a challenge of the city of Chesapeake to Governor Youngkin's executive order number 2. The governor and I are pleased with today's ruling. At the beginning of this pandemic, Governor Northam used his broad emergency powers to close places of worship, private businesses, and schools and impose a statewide mask mandate. If it wasn't for that third last word in that statement, I would have thought he was probably talking about Justin Trudeau as well. Miyares, a Republican, said in the statement, not just any Republican, the first Hispanic attorney general in the history of the great state of Virginia. The Attorney General said his state now has better risk mitigation strategies and vaccines and don't warrant universal masking in schools. Yeah. Just go ahead and throw on that disclaimer because the justification is now the science. So if other places want to start pointing to the science, they can just go ahead and say, but what about the science? They can just go, fuck, we need better experts. How about that? Well, like I said, and have alluded to a couple of different times, there are some interesting schools, or there are some interesting states dropping their school mask mandates. Oregon. What? No, this is Kate Brown, who wants you to wear a mask everywhere. There's an outdoor, I didn't misspeak, outdoor mask mandate in places where there could be big gatherings. So in like fucking state parks, you need to wear a mask outside. But now they're even finding this tough to justify. Oregon to scrap indoor school mask mandates by March 31st, officials say. So by the end of next month, maybe, potentially, we'll see. We'll scrap its mask mandate for indoor public places and schools by March 31st, the Oregon Health Authority announced on Monday. Nothing quite says we're here working for the people like a health authority. Citing declining COVID infections in the state and finding no justification for further fear-mongering, we're just going to have to go ahead and fucking return to normal. God damn it. Health officials said it is expected that by late March, 400 or further Oregonians would be hospitalized with the coof. Wow, what are their numbers at right now? I don't really care. I couldn't imagine it's much higher than 400. How many beds do they have? Again, we can continue to go down this rabbit hole. We just come up with just no justification for this, but this is what they're doing, and it's Oregon after all. Kate Brown's there. She's fucking bonkers. The evidence from Oregon and around the country is clear. Masks save lives. Really? God, it's so nice to just get away with disinformation. Not citing anything specific, but just saying that just came to me, just unprovoked. Anyways, by slowing the spread of COVID-19. Masks work, safe and effective. State epidemiologist Dr. Dean Sacklicker, there we go, said in a statement, we should see COVID hospitalizations drop by the end of March because you've been so good with your forecasts. How many people were supposed to die at the beginning of this? How many billion? Because so many Oregonians are wearing masks and taking other steps to protect themselves and each other. Yeah, sure. It's not like, what's that thing? Natural immunity. The thing that you don't want to recognize. It's almost like this less severe variant is going through people. Okay, even people that are just triple safe and effective, they're getting it. They're not manifesting any devastating symptoms, and then they're reaping the benefits. And it's like, oh no, masks work. Okay, pal. Health officials forecast that by late March, the level of COOF hospitalizations would return to what the state experienced before Omicron variant of the novel coronavirus began to spread. Wait a minute. I thought the Delta wave, okay, because that was what was before Omicron, if we can remember just a couple months back. I know, right? But wasn't that like record highs and reason to be panicking and fearful? So what's changed? This very mild strain that has resulted in fewer hospitalizations and deaths? Oh, okay, cool. So we go back to before that, and that's all of a sudden now less scary. Oh, okay, cool. Weird admissions you're making here, but don't point to any of them. The Oregon Health Authority and Department of Human Services, cool, the Ministry of Truth, also said Monday that the state health officials said that would consider lifting indoor mask mandates earlier than March 31st if hospitalizations decline to levels projected to the end of March sooner than expected. Listen, we set this arbitrary number that the state needs to hit before the end of the month, and we could, drop them before if we hit that arbitrary number, but again, our models are working, and by models they mean whatever the whores sweep up at the fucking Portland Trail Blazers games. It's like, whatever, dude. You love to see it, especially coming from one of these fucking weird places, even though their justification is hot garbage, but you get what you vote for, I guess. And then in just about the most baffling thing that I've seen today, and did you guys see that previous video? There's a lot of fucking baffling shit happening right now, but California to end indoor mask requirement. I'm wondering if Gavin Newsom was caught on video at another indoor gathering not wearing a mask. I'm just saying that these mandates tend to drop whenever there's a scandal about to break. Just saying. California's statewide indoor mask mandate requirement will expire on February 15th for vaccinated residents. Oh, okay, cool. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Officials announced on February 7th, citing a decline in Omicron virus variant cases. Unvaccinated residents will still be required to mask up indoors, along with those in certain statewide facilities. Oh, okay, cool. So this is like legitimately, yeah, in some places, maybe potentially for most of the population, okay, unless you're one of those evil, dirty, unvaccinated people, because we follow the science. Sure. Governor Gavin Newsom announced the end of the mandate February 7th on Twitter, where all serious politicians make all of their policy announcements, noting the COVID-19 positivity rate in the state has decreased by 65%, like every other fucking state out there, and hospitalizations have stabilized, like they have for a long time. The move will have no immediate impact on Los Angeles County, which has a local indoor mask wearing requirements in place, but the state's move means the requirement will be lifted in counties that don't have such a mask mandate, such as Orange County, San Diego, and Riverside counties. You know, the only red ones and the only good ones that are out there. Just saying. The requirement for all residents, regardless of vaccination status, to wear a mask indoors began in December 2021. And it worked really well. Trust us, because we don't have a study to prove that otherwise, do we? No, of course not. No, just wear a mask until we tell you to not wear a mask. And then when we tell you to wear a mask again, just keep them around. So yeah, that's cool though, but all of this shit is totally fucking unnecessary. And don't like to normally drag out celebrities, but we've talked about the big man here a couple of times, and once again has a base take on things, and I do love me some Shaq. The dude's the fucking best, easily the most dominant player post Michael Jordan, and if we are just looking exclusively at centers, probably the last great center that we're gonna see in our lifetime. Easily one of the top 25 greatest NBA players of all time, and probably one of the most based individuals alive today. Shaq opposes COOF mandates. Good. That forces people to get jabbed. Not just that, all of it. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal disagrees with the government-imposed mandates that force people into getting vaccinated against the COOF, the Basketball Hall of Famer said on Thursday.
Look, I encourage everyone to be safe and to take care of your family. I do. But there's still some people that don't want to take it. And you shouldn't have to be forced to take something you don't want to.
O'Neal said in the latest episode of The Big Podcast with Shaq. I'm sure it's very interesting, mostly just to hear what Shaq has to say, but I don't know who these people are. Maybe I'll give it a listen. O'Neal and his co-hosts, Nichelle Turner and Anthony Spice Adams, spoke about the topic of COOF vaccine mandates after his co-host brought up this story of two New York-based healthcare workers who were arrested for allegedly forging and selling thousands of COVID-19 vaccine cards. Yep, you created a black market industry, a hokel, and guess what? You have to reap the benefits of that. Don't send them to jail. O'Neal said, prompting Turner, who also works as a reporter for CBS, to question the former NBA player's response.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. Let's just say you're the sound guy at Entertainment Tonight. It's a great place. Been working there for 10 years. That's all, you know. You don't bother nobody. You come to work and do your work every day. Then you go home and you have your beliefs. Let's just say ET puts up a new policy. You don't get the vaccination, you lose your job. I don't think people are being forced to take. Well, there's some.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not too sure if that's what that lady sounds like. Anyways, I don't think people are being forced to take. Well, there are some. Listen, we have a mandate at CBS. What a fucking brainlet. I don't think people are being forced. Oh, but wait a minute. Where I work, we have a mandate. And then, yeah, Shaq being based out of his mind. It must be a side effect of being 7 feet tall.
Oh, that's forced. If a man don't take it, the man's going to get fired.
O'Neal said, objecting to Turner's viewpoint that the vaccination is not forced. Again, that's just another one of these boilerplate NBCs. It's not a mandate. It's a choice. Really? It's a choice. Okay, what's your choice? Get the jab or you don't have a job. Real fucking choice you have there, stupid, if you're being ideologically honest, which most of these people aren't. So again, that's why I give like a tentative endorsement of this, because I can imagine if it's people like this on the podcast, even as wonderful as Shaq is as a human being, I don't need to be listening to people like this because my brain hurts enough reading the news every day. I'm with you on the rules because I'm a rules guy, O'Neal said, but I do feel sympathetic towards people who have to make that kind of decision. Yeah, not everybody has millions and millions and millions of dollars. And even though Shaq is a really rich person, he does a lot of charity work that he doesn't publicize. Okay, because he doesn't need the validation from just, I don't know, blue check marks on Twitter. He doesn't need the virtue signaling points. He's just a good dude. Yeah, man, we're starting to see a lot of people talk out against vaccine and mask mandates. We're seeing a lot of people shunt this and move it off to the side, even in places like Oregon, even partially in California, but even a partial admission that, yeah, we can probably get rid of mask mandates right now is a victory in and of itself. But now we're going to shift gears because we've been talking a lot about mandates here, and we're going to talk about, hey, do you guys know that there's an Olympic Games going on right now? I know, neither did I. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.